March 16, 1521. The Spanish expedition under Ferdinand Magellan sights the mountains of Samar, marking the first contact between the Spanish Empire and the Philippine archipelago. Lapu-Lapu, with an estimated 1,500 warriors, defeated the attack by Magellan. Pigafetta noted that when the Spanish forces landed on the morning of April 27, 1521, the native warriors were organized and charged in 3 separate battalions, overwhelming the Spanish landing party. History records a native victory at the Battle of Mactan, but it was a victory of overwhelming numbers over 16th century technology. But what if the tactical balance was shifted? What if a single modern Philippine Scout Ranger, an expert in asymmetrical warfare and coastal defense, spawned in Mactan weeks before the Spanish arrival? This is Philippine Re-Horizon, where we apply modern military science to the turning points of our history. To understand the divergence, we must first analyze the historical failure of the Spanish. On April 27, 1521, Magellan made a critical strategic error regarding the terrain. Because of the shallow coral reefs surrounding Mactan, his galleons could not anchor close to the shore. This meant his primary heavy weapons, cannons and muskets, were firing from an extreme distance, rendering them almost useless against the agile Mactan warriors. History tells us Magellan's men fired for half an hour until their ammunition was exhausted, failing to clear the beach for their landing party. Enter our Scout Ranger. In pre-colonial Southeast Asia, leadership was defined by the concept of men of prowess, leaders whose authority was based on demonstrated performance rather than inherited rank. Our ranger wouldn't need a crown. He would only need to demonstrate a superior understanding of the kill zone. Using his knowledge of asymmetrical warfare, the Ranger would move Lapu-Lapu's 1,500 warriors from a beach brawl mentality to a structured 3-tier defense, a strategy later perfected by General Antonio Luna. Tier 1. The invisible perimeter. Instead of waiting on the sand, warriors are positioned in the mangroves and behind natural cover, utilizing the rainforest terrain to hide their numbers until the Spanish are chest deep in water. Tier 2. Tactical innovation. The Ranger introduces basic improvements to native weaponry. While the Spanish armor was largely resistant to standard arrows, the Ranger would identify the vulnerability of their unarmored legs, a weakness that historically led to Magellan's death. Tier 3. The encirclement. Historically, the Mactan warriors attacked from the front and both flanks. The Ranger would formalize this into a classic pincer movement, ensuring that once the Spanish reached the shore, they had no path of retreat back to their boats. As Magellan's landing party of 49 men wades through the surf, they find not a shouting crowd, but an eerie silence. The Ranger waits until the Spanish are at their most vulnerable, slowed by the water and too far for ship-based support. The command is given. A disciplined barrage of fire-hardened spears and poisoned arrows targets only the lower extremities. The Spanish retreat is not a retreat, but a route. In this timeline, the Ranger's presence ensures that the Spanish are not just repelled, but their technology is captured. In the aftermath, the Ranger utilizes his modern organizational skills to help Lapu-Lapu consolidate the various chiefdoms of Cebu and Mactan into a unified defense force, centuries before the first National Defense Act was ever dreamed of. By injecting one expert in modern tactical science into 1521, we don't just change a battle, we change a horizon. If the Spanish return is met by a unified, fortified, and tactically disciplined archipelago, the 333 years of colonial rule might never have happened. This has been a Tactical Situation Report from Philippine Re-Horizon. If you enjoyed this deep dive into speculative military history, hit the subscribe button and join our community. If you were the Scout Ranger, what is the first piece of modern military knowledge you would teach Datu Lapulapu? Let us know below.